Hi everyone, it's Jeff from Transient Specialists. Thanks for joining us today. Today we're going to be spending some time on the newest version of the Teseq NSG 4070 test system, the NSG 4070D. We'll start by going over a little bit about the test system, then we'll move to the connections in the front and the back, and finally we'll spend some time modifying testing criteria from the front panel display. The Teseq NSG 4070D test system is designed for conducted RF immunity testing, incorporating a signal generator, power meters, and an amplifier into a single unit. This system also has pre-programmed test routines for commercial, military, and automotive applications, as well as a built-in amplifier of up to 100 watts, making it ideal to meet those higher test levels. The NSG 4070D comes in 4 different models. Let's go ahead now. Let's take a look at the data sheet, which walks through a little more about each. Now we're taking a look at the data sheet for the Teseq NSG 4070D. On the left, we have some features, and on the right, a breakout of the different models and a block diagram of the test system. The NSG 4070D has a signal generator and 3 power meters with a frequency range from 4 kHz to 1 GHz. Taking a look at the different models now, we have 2 different models covering 150 kHz to 230 MHz, one at 50 watts and another at 100 watts. The model we're looking at for today's video is the 100 watt version and allows for a variety of different injection methods to be used while meeting the test level requirements of IEC 61000-4-6. This frequency range is typically used for commercial requirements, and the most common of these is going to be IEC 61000-4-6. Below that, there's models designed for 4 kHz to 400 MHz. These are also available in both 50 and 100 watt models and are commonly used for military and automotive applications. The wider frequency range of the amplifier makes it ideal for mil standard 461 testing, as some applications are tested down to 4 kHz. Let's go ahead now and let's scroll down to the last page of the data sheet. There at the top, you can see we have the dimensions broken out by the different models, and then below that, the available models. As you can see at the top, there is a model available without a power amplifier. As we look down towards the bottom at the accessories, you can see the first product is the license for IEC 61000-4-39 testing. This can be ordered with the NSG 4070D and allows for the near field proximity magnetic fields test to be conducted with the corresponding antennas. Let's go ahead now and let's take a look at the front of the system. Now we're taking a look at the front of the NSG 4070D. Let's go ahead and let's start from the left and let's work our way right. Starting on the top, we have our RF out and amplifier in connections. When the internal amplifier is used, these connections will be connected with an adapter, which we have connected for today's video. Below that, we have the amplifier out connection, which will go to our injection device. Next to that, we have our power meter inputs. Channel 1 is limited to plus 27 dBm. Channel 2 and 3 to plus 20 dBm. Channel 1 all the way at the bottom is used for calibration. As we continue right, we have the display, and then next to that, the soft keys. All the way at the bottom of the soft keys, we have the back button. Towards the center of the unit, we have the numeric keys, and then next to that, our input confirmation keys. Below that, we have our hold, as well as run and stop buttons and our arrow keys. As we continue to the right side of the unit, we have the soft key menus for frequency, level, mode, and stored test data or configurations. When these are pressed, it will take you directly to the corresponding menu. Below that, we have 3 buttons which change the step size of the rotary knob, and then below that we have our rotary knob. Taking a look now, all the way on the right, we have our RF on-off button, help, and blue additional function button. Finally, in the lower right-hand corner, we have the power button. Let's go ahead now, let's get the unit turned around and take a look at the back. Here's the back of the NSG 4070D. Let's go ahead now and let's start from the left again and let's work our way right. On the far left, we have the power supply connection. Just above the first fan, we have our user port and RS-232 connection. Next, along the top, we have the monitor and RS-232 optical connections. As we continue right, we have the LAN, remote USB, and then finally, all the way on the right, the USB ports. Down the middle of the unit, we have our analog and digital inputs, as well as the external modulation input and 10 MHz reference output. The connections and different buttons on the front and back are very similar to that of older NSG 4070 models. For additional information, go ahead and check out pages 11 to 15 of the user manual. Let's go ahead now, let's get the system powered up and take a look at the front panel display. Here's the starting display. As you can see, along the top, we have the model as well as the corresponding amplifier. This display has 2 different menus, the standards menu and then the device menu. We're currently looking at the standards menu, and the different menus can be toggled between by selecting the first soft key in the upper right hand corner with device labeled next to it. And if we go ahead and press that, it will take us to our device menu. And if we hit it one more time, it'll toggle us back to our standards menu. The standards menu is most commonly used as it has pre-programmed test routines as well as the associated test levels, which will encompass a lot of the testing the NSG 4070 is going to be used for. Taking a look now at our standards menu, we have the different standards in bold red text, as well as the associated soft keys next to them indicated with arrows. For this model of the NSG 4070D, given the frequency range of the amplifier and the power, IEC 61000-4-6 is likely how it will be most commonly used. However, there are other options that can be selected here as well. As we scroll through using our bottom soft key, you can see we have options for automotive, military, avionics, as well as near field proximity magnetic field testing. And as we scroll through, now we've reached the top. If we select a test standard that our system cannot be used for, you'll receive a pop-up indicating that an external amplifier is needed. Let's go ahead now and select ISO 11452-4 by selecting the associated soft key, and now we receive the pop-up indicating that we do need to integrate an external amplifier if we want to conduct testing to this standard. If you do have an external amplifier that'll meet the test requirements of the associated standard, the test can be run directly from the screen. Let's go ahead now and let's go back to our starting menu. Let's spend a little time on the device menu briefly. Let's go ahead and select that first soft key again to get us to the menu. And it has a very similar look to that of the standards menu with our bold text for the different options as well as corresponding soft keys and then a brief overview underneath them. This menu is going to offer more flexibility when testing is conducted from the front panel while allowing different equipment within the system to be utilized as well. As we take a look at the menu, each option has a description below it. As you can see, we have general immunity mode at the top, and this allows you to create custom immunity tests. Let's go back to our standards menu and take a look at IEC 61000-4-6. Now we're taking a look at the IEC 61000-4-6 main menu. We have a series of boxes relating to different testing criteria. Starting on the top row of boxes, we have our level as well as our test severity. If we want to adjust the test level based on IEC 61000-4-6, we can press the first soft key for test severity and we can adjust that level. As you can see, now we have a level of 3 volts and a test severity of 2. The next row of boxes, we have the frequency sweep and coupling device. To adjust these criteria, we can select the test setup button, which is the second soft key down, and we can adjust the dwell time by using the bottom soft key, and then our coupling is going to be on the top soft key. Let's go ahead and let's select the coupling device. And this is where we have options for the different injection methods for IEC 61000-4-6 testing. At the top, we have coupling decoupling networks, or CDN, then electromagnetic clamps, or EM clamps, current injection, and then finally, all the way at the bottom, direct injection. Let's go ahead now and let's switch it from EM clamp to CDN by pressing the top soft key. If we go ahead and hit the back button a few times, it will take us back to our main menu. The final row of boxes has modulation and our amplifier settings. For IEC 61000-4-6, this likely won't need to be changed as the model we're looking at for today's video can meet the test requirements. If we take a little closer look now at the red column on the right, we've already spent some time on the test severity and test setup. Below that, we have our monitoring setup, calibration, and then all the way at the bottom, results. If we go ahead and click the calibration menu, there we have options for both system calibration and saturation check. Let's go ahead and let's hit the system calibration, and this will take us to our system calibration menu. At the top in the right, we have start and stop, as well as an info button on the bottom and our different calibration info on the left. Once the calibration setup is done with the associated injection equipment, the calibration can be run from this menu. Alright, that should complete the video today on the Teseq NSG 4070D. We began the video by going over a little bit about the test system, then we moved to the connections in the front and the back, and then finally we spent some time on the front panel display. We hope this video has been useful, and please keep us in mind if you ever need to rent the Teseq NSG 4070D.